Hey everybody, this week on the MovementRVA Podcast, we talked about genetic testing, then we drank way too much cider, and things went a little wild. I need you, I so need you, stay nice for one more day. We have formed a super tribe with Koyos. What is Koyos? Koyos is a nootropic that enhances cognitive function. That means if you use your brain to make money, or you use your brain in general, Koyos will help you use it more effectively. I use Koyos, Jake uses Koyos, lots of people at CrossFit RVA use Koyos, and we now have a sponsorship with them where you get 25% off if you use the code RVA when you go to purchase at their website. That is RVA. So go to www.mentaltitan.com, purchase your Koyos today, use our code, get 25% off. I don't like doing this that much, but if you like the show, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you think we're really awesome, go to iTunes, give us a review. 5 stars is the best we can get. We're honestly happy with anything that happens. So, do it now, and enjoy the show. Welcome back, everybody. We got a topic this week. We won't stick to it for very long, I'm sure. We got an exciting new opportunity to do genetic testing.
I don't know what genetic testing is.
I don't really know that much about it either, but
I don't know what it means.
I know that we were in contact with a company that sent us a testing kit, and I had to swab my teeth, my cheek and gums, basically from the moment I woke up in the morning. Because you can't brush away those very expensive cells that you need to do the testing.
You needed to put your best DNA foot forward.
And I did, and I swabbed my cheeks when I first woke up.
As did I.
It
came in a very impressive package.
The package was like Batman 3 with Val Kilmer. Jim Carrey's the Joker. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And
Did you say Kilmer?
What is his name?
Kilmer.
I didn't say Kilmer.
You said Kimmler.
Whatever. Kilmer. Val Kilmer. He wasn't very good at Batman anyways.
Neither of us probably know his last name for real.
Well, Jim Carrey was the Joker. He would send him those cards. Do you remember this?
Oh, I do.
And they were
a classic. This was when we were growing up. Me and you would have been 11 years old, seeing it at movies 10.
This is basically what this DNA fit package was like. When you opened it, pop-up messages occurred. Do you remember pop-up books? Were they called pop-up books?
I don't know. What are they?
Well, you open the book and like a tree comes out.
It's like that.
And then
but even better.
It's the Berenstain Bears, and you grab a cardboard tab, and you
pull it, and then something shoots up.
Right. And old Berenstain climbs up the tree.
It's like a transformer, but it's
paper.
But it's a cardboard box.
It's a cardboard box. It's entertainment for poor people, Jake. That's what this DNA fit box was like. And you opened it, and you got your test kit.
Just a swab. It's the most expensive way to send a Q-tip.
I was worried that it was going to be painful. Because they said scrub vigorously, but not to the point where your cheeks and gums are bleeding.
I feel like that's a reasonable set of instructions.
I believe I scrubbed vigorously enough, though, that I did bleed from the cheeks and gums.
Was it a pink Q-tip when you're done?
It was that strange ridged. I also treated it like I was at the CDC and it was Ebola when I was putting it into the test tube.
Like you had to go with the most precision.
I had on a hazmat suit.
As you should.
With the air, the oxygen supply attached. I broke it off into the test tube without depositing any other sort of DNA into there. And I sealed it. And I sealed the entire package and sent it to DNA Fit.
I wish I could... Which one did we do? Which set of testing?
The whole shebang, bro.
Fitness Diet Pro?
Yes. We got everything.
Are you sure?
I am 90% positive. How comfortable are you with 90% odds?
I'm all right. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly it is that we signed up for.
Okay, I know a couple things that we're definitely going to get. What percentage of our genes are power and endurance?
That's weird. I don't even know. I feel like this is pseudoscience.
Yeah, DNA testing, pseudoscience.
Okay, there's DNA tests for dogs, right? And it tells you
I know all about it.
That your Chihuahua
is a wolf.
Is a wolf and a German Shepherd and a Dachshund.
The standards are a little higher, I believe, on this. There is no regulation in this industry, to tell you the truth. But I heard about it on Mark's Daily Apple. Some of you might know that website.
Let's look at this. So it's got a bunch of letters, which I assume are supposed to be genes, so I'm supposed to be wowed by
science.
The science.
Why don't you be wowed by science?
There's so much science involved. This is what it says. All right, power and endurance. Will your body react better to power or endurance training?
That seems legit to me.
What do you think your test results are going to be?
I know exactly what they're going to be.
What are they going to be?
What I think they are for real?
Yeah.
50-50.
So you're the perfect man.
No.
You're just
I'm actually not good at anything. That's what that's saying, Jake.
Hey, that's CrossFit.
But I'm also not good at CrossFit, so what is up? What's up with me?
What if it says 50% of your genes are just inactive? Like you don't respond to anything.
I've turned them off through lifestyle and just trauma.
Yeah, 25% of your body will react to anything.
What do you think yours is going to say?
I think power.
I feel like you're saying that because you want to be power and you feel like that's cool.
Or because I've done a lot of training over the past 10 years, and I generally, no matter what I do, my conditioning always sucks. But I can move faster, and typically do move fast for very short things, and I can get stronger.
So I did do a little bit of research, and I mean, I feel like a lot of people know this, but it's worth saying. You can manipulate your gene expression through what you do, what you eat, and how you live, through lifestyle factors. So, Jake, you might be right in that your genes that are expressing, and I'm not a scientist, so I probably sound like an idiot right now.
We don't know anything.
But let me guess. I would say that your genes that are expressing are probably primarily power.
I hope that's... Well, I mean, it really doesn't matter, but it'd be interesting to find out soon. All right, the other one is risk of injury. Should you take any preventative steps against injuries?
Do you know how high mine probably is?
First of all, how are my genes telling me anything about that?
There has to be... Obviously, there's not a gene that's like, this is if you're going to get fucked up or not. But there's probably elasticity of joints.
I mean, there's so many factors. I don't know.
It's science.
It's science, yeah.
Well, okay, let's guess.
So let me tell you real things.
I feel like you're real loud.
Okay. So let's say that you sit at a chair all day and you're hunched over.
Sort of like I am now.
And you're going to have adaptive shortening of the hip flexors, and your shoulders are going to be hunched forward. And then you go and you're like, I'm going to snatch to 1 rep max after sitting in a chair for 30 years.
Right.
Things might go wrong for you, and that has nothing to do with my genes.
But, there are some, and we call them genetic freaks out there, who can get out of the chair after 30 years and snatch body weight.
Maybe they can.
In short order.
In jean shorts.
We know lawyers who aren't exactly known for being active all day who can do things like this.
That is true.
So, there's also...
We know lawyers who eat just 1 serving of chicken at night.
Not anymore, dude.
And are 3% body fat.
He's on the train, man.
He looks exactly the same.
No, he doesn't. He looks huge.
I actually told him he looked huge, but he said he weighs exactly the same.
He told me that too, and he might look... It's Nick Braswell, bruh. So if you're an international listener, you have no idea who we're talking about.
He's a young man who's changed his last name legally to Bruh.
Bruh. Let's tell the people out there who don't know him. Nick is a lawyer. He was a D1 football player.
Are you sure it's D1?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's D1.
Who do you play for?
North Carolina.
I think we're making things up.
No. Well, he'll correct us. He is jacked to the gills. Not juiced to the gills, jacked to the gills.
Naturally jacked.
And he, at one point, was eating half a meal a day.
Yeah, it's like 500 calories worth of chicken.
He was eating less than a Chinese prison camp laborer at one point. And we have gotten him to, or he's up to like 3,500.
Yeah, he says he can't eat anymore. I think it's a lie.
And he was a great athlete beforehand, and now he's PR'd everything probably by like 20 pounds. And he was huge before, and he's just looking huge at this point.
Just jacked and tan.
So basically, we have saved his life.
By telling him to eat a little bit more.
You're welcome, Nick. But he's a genetic freak, Jake, because he sits down all day. And he wasn't eating, and he was still performing at a very high, high-ish level.
No. All right. It also is going to tell us about our speed of recovery, which I feel like makes sense.
Why? Okay. Why do you think Why do you think it could tell you about that, but it couldn't tell you about any of the other stuff?
Again, I feel like what about my genes is going to tell me about whether or not I'm going to get a rotator cuff tear.
I think you're confusing like lifestyle factors with.
I think both are a combination.
Maybe you got weak tissue paper muscles, and there's a gene that tells you that.
I don't know if that's true.
Maybe your muscles are like wet tissue paper.
I don't think they found the tissue paper gene yet.
Tissue paper? What did I just say?
Tissue.
You got tissue paper? There's also. Do you got the? Is that it for the performance?
This is the performance one.
Okay, talk about the diet one.
Also, I'd like to say that we're going to get to benchmark ourselves against a team of Olympic athletes.
There is the possibility that we might have an Olympic athlete on this podcast. One of those Olympic athletes.
Oh, weird. Let's see. All right. Hold on. There's a better list. All right. We're getting the full package, right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
All right. So, power and endurance potential.
Right.
Post-exercise recovery speed.
Believe it.
Injury risk profile.
Totally legit.
You're a liar. Recovery nutrition needs.
Completely verifiable science.
I don't even want to say anything anymore.
Why? Just tell me more. I don't know what they all are.
VO2 max potential.
That is not... Okay, I'm going to jump in on your side and be like, that's not possible.
No, I think it is.
I think...
So much of your VO2...
That is not possible.
This is well proven that your VO2 max potential is largely genetic.
Okay, but how, without putting that mask on your face and making you run top speed for 6 miles, I'm making the test up, how are they really going to know? You yell at me for burping.
I didn't burp.
Yeah, slurping.
Oh, dude, we're drinking right now.
All the herps. Okay, you think that one is more legit than the other ones?
It's more legit than your injury risk profile.
Jake. Okay.
This is established.
I'm not buying that.
Look on the internet. Look it up.
I know what you're talking about.
People say that your VO2 max is largely determined at the time you were born.
But, okay.
Not by your training and lifestyle.
Well, I would counter with the research I did for this show. That was actually the one thing that most people were like, this is probably the one that's just not true.
Well, not everyone gets to be smart, Matt.
I feel like we are falling in that category right now.
Not smart or smart?
Not smart. What else we got?
Now I'm sure of myself right now.
All
right, that's it for the test of our fitness, the DNA fit test as they call it. Let's see. All right, next one we got. Diet.
This one is irrefutable.
All right, so learn how to manage your weight more efficiently. All right, so obesity risk. Are you more susceptible to weight gain than others? I feel like that's real.
I feel like I already know what that's going to say.
What if it said that I was more susceptible to weight gain and we got really mad about this?
I'd have a lot of things to rethink in my life if that said that.
What if it said that you're actually meant to be just a svelte, like 145 pounds?
It's rail thin.
Just rail thin, mini person.
The one time I had a six-pack, I had a gigantic head.
It's fine. There's worse things in life.
I feel like having a bobblehead is one of the top worst things in life.
You're like Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones.
I'm like Al Roker.
That's different.
That's the same thing. He has a bobblehead. Some people aren't meant to be
I think it's
skinny.
just perspective here.
Some people aren't meant to be skinny.
It's when Einstein was talking about relativity. He was talking about...
Is this how you're proving to everyone you're smart right now because you just mentioned relativity?
I think it's funny to inappropriately use things that you would associate with being smart.
This reminds me of quantum physics, guys.
Your head relative to your body, out of control.
Schrodinger's cat. Is your head actually enormous or not? It's what you think it's going to be.
If we put a box over your head,
If we put my head in a
and we
box.
do not observe your head, is it huge?
Well, if you think my head is huge, it's obviously going to be huge. But that's a misnomer because the size of the box could determine the size of the head.
Well, I don't know what to tell you about that.
My obesity risk is high. Ashley actually wears one of the shirts that I wore back in the day, and it fits her perfectly.
Saw some pictures of you not that long ago.
And what were your thoughts?
I mean, you were just a very small man.
That's revolting.
I'm sorry.
I'd rather look like I was in the mafia than look like I used to. Which is some weird shit to say, but it's true.
You're very small. Saturated fat. Do saturated fats impact your ability to lose weight?
This is actually one thing I think I want to know. Because I eat a lot of saturated fat, and I don't know, maybe a year ago I kicked up the amount of saturated fat that I ate, and there was a corresponding weight gain. Might have been also lifestyle factors, but that would be interesting to see if I can have bacon every morning or not.
I wonder what the paleo crowd has not been afraid of the saturated fat for a while, I feel.
Is that from more the, correct me if I'm wrong, correlation between saturated fat and cholesterol?
I don't know. They don't care about cholesterol either.
You need cholesterol to, God, I'm showing off my ignorance, but you need cholesterol to maintain high levels of testosterone.
Maybe so.
That part is true. I don't know the actual mechanism, but...
Let's get real. Neither of us know anything about biology.
Yeah.
At the most basic
level.
At the most basic level.
I don't even know what I'm made out of.
You're an enigma.
Does a carbon-based life form mean you're made out of dirt?
You're just a dirt man.
God, that joke just landed so poorly. Let's go. What do we got? Come on.
It didn't. Hey, who knows? People could be laughing right now.
If people laugh at us, then they need to rethink some things.
Carbohydrates. Will carbohydrates intake? Will carbohydrate? It's written poorly. Will carbohydrate intake increase your risk of obesity? Interesting. Worth knowing.
Do you have a problem with any of these yet? I think these are all things that are easily determined by genetics.
Absolutely. This seems real. It seems like something I can get into.
This seems real, guys.
You know what? You can click on these specific genes, and it's telling you what they're responsible for. ADBR3, regulation of fat. ARG16GLY, weight loss resistance. Do you feel like, what are the, I feel like there's some considerations here about what this is telling you and how this might affect your own psychology and your own expectations. Like, let's say you get it, and it's just like, you're doomed to be fat, right?
You just quit?
What if you just quit?
No, genetics, isn't the first thing genetics aren't destiny? Isn't that a thing I hear all the time?
But it kind of is.
I feel like this is a weird thing for me.
Do you think it'll give people excuses?
Dude, anything... Come on, Jake. You're in the business you're in. Anything will give people... If there's an excuse, it'll be taken. Think about it. Think about it.
I think of all the groups of exercisers in the world, I think the CrossFitters are probably very good at not giving into excuses.
Compared to general population.
To Globo Gymmers. To general population.
Yeah, for sure. I'll concede that. But I think that human beings in general, unless they're very vigilant, will take the excuse over maybe the hard path of overcoming.
I hope they take the road less traveled, man.
Genetics aren't destiny, though. That's the truth. That's the truth.
That's true. I mean, okay, so we can overcome all this stuff.
You can
it's just telling us what is a challenge,
right?
But again, I'm just curious, like what do we do with this information? Like, what do people do? Like, what if this becomes a little more cost effective? What if it's not $400 something?
I thought about that, and a couple of things that came to mind are, even though you think these ones are totally false, if you are an under-recover prone to injury, you maybe don't go for that 5th day of training where you feel horrible. Maybe you don't go for that 1 rep max when that last rep that you did before that was super wonky. You're more cautious. And this is good. I guess this is good for anyone to think about. You're in a long swim, not in some kind of sprint. So if you don't get it today, you get it tomorrow. Also, you know that your recovery habits probably need to be just as vigilant as your training habits. So if you're spending an hour in the gym, are you spending an hour trying to recover? Which is, like, I don't know, sleeping, rolling out, eating better, whatever the situation is.
I think that's reasonable. I mean, don't you think, though, that you're going to probably, if you're a diligent trainee, figure this stuff out over time anyways?
That's what I was going to say. I think I really doubt that me and you are going to be surprised by whatever comes back, because I think we've had enough experience doing things like this that we know, carbs make me fat, or I don't recover very well.
So do you think this is just something fun to do, like it's confirming probably what you already know, or maybe just being a unique fact, or is it something actually useful? Like, are we just finding out that our Chihuahua is really a Doberman Pinscher Mastiff mix, or is it like something we can actually put to good use?
If I can make a perfect world where this was not cost prohibitive, I would have people, okay, if I could make a perfect gym or just a perfect training setting, I would have this be the first thing people did. Put it on file, have the trainers be aware of the situation, particularly if there was a personal training scenario, and gear training towards this. I think that's a perfect world, though.
Yeah. I mean, okay, let's say it's $20, you know.
Yeah, I'd have everyone in the gym do it.
But again, I guess we'll see how much this reflects what we think is reality. What our, it's just hard to know. I mean, again, what if we get the results back and it seems bogus, or just like or just not something particularly helpful? Like, we get it and we're like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna be skinny for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I guess that's my perfect world scenario, where if we had gotten this 8-10 years ago, maybe we would have done a lot of things different.
But I feel like you probably already knew these things.
Okay, what about the saturated fat one?
Well, I mean, okay, so you're going to eat a little less saturated fat.
Yeah, I mean, I would think the ones that are the most useful, honestly, because you know if you under-recover, you know if you're prone to injury. I mean, just figure that out real quick. But I think the ones like the carb, the saturated fat one, I think those ones are probably pretty useful.
I feel like every question that they're asking here, I feel like it's in the negative for me. It's like, are you prone to injury? Yes. Does your recovery capacity suck? Yes. It should just be like, you're not an athlete, you shouldn't do anything. And then you got license to quit. You just quit everything.
Well, they might send you back a piece of paper that says jazzercise.
What if it tells you that you are just, again, like an incredible athlete, but you've really just squandered your potential for 30 years? I know this isn't true, but wouldn't that be funny?
I think you should send yourself to the glue factory at that point.
I remember trying to play baseball as a young man.
I remember this too.
And I feel like I couldn't throw the ball from like one base to the other. Like, I couldn't throw it far enough. I think that tells you as a young man that you're not cut out for certain things.
90 feet is very far, Jake.
Well, I wouldn't have won the softball toss at the 2013 games or whatever it was.
Neither could any CrossFitters.
I mean, someone had to win.
They couldn't even win their own contest, Jake.
They all lost. They're only losers here.
Straight losers.
That's interesting. I think so. Hold on, let me look and see if there's anything else that we're gonna get.
I don't know if we told them we are going to get these results any day now, and we'll do a wrap-up show probably with DNA Fit about what these results actually mean.
With just a host of Olympians on the show. from the UK.
UK gold medalist on the MovementRVA podcast.
Can we say like Michael Phelps is gonna be on the podcast?
Guys, exciting news. Michael Phelps is going to be on the next podcast.
Not true, just some rando Olympian.
He's going to talk about eating burgers and pizza and swimming faster than most sharks in the water.
Your detox ability, what does that mean? It's new too.
I hope they don't listen to this because we're just ragging on their system.
I think this is what's expected. You know, I feel like we need to be critical of this.
We tell the truth.
We're asking the questions. I can't even click on these things. My detox ability, my antioxidant needs. Here's the thing about the diet. No one in the diet world can agree on even the most simple things.
Right, because everyone's different. All things work for all people.
So, I mean, but like, okay, in the realm of physical fitness, you can agree on some underlying principles, and then of course it all branches out from there.
Can they?
Absolutely.
Okay, like what?
I don't have like a list of things.
Well, because I would say that it's just as we as a community agree on certain principles, but I'd say there's
go
forces.
back to things that are taught in a bachelor's exercise science degree, like the basic level stuff. And it's going to be agreed upon. But then you go out and it's the application of it that is what everyone disagrees about.
Okay. You don't think food is on that basic world?
We can't agree. Like in the world of nutrition, it's not like we can't agree if a calorie is a calorie. You know, if there is, it's, I mean, basic things like, I mean, for some people, it's the bathtub model, the calorie in, calorie out. That's all there is. And then it's like the other side of the thing where the paleo world, where it's no matter how much you eat, if you're not eating grains and things a Paleolithic man couldn't have found, you're shredding fat all times.
You're doing what?
Shredding fat.
If you are eating grains?
If you're not.
Shredding fat.
Just
gotcha.
Just saying, there's very basic things that cannot be agreed upon. So how are they gonna tell us how to eat based on this stuff? They have like a 12-week plan you can get.
I feel like
they're not listening to this. Also, like we're at the bottom of their list.
They don't even respond to our emails. I feel like exercise is in that same vein.
It's not.
How?
I know it's not. I've been around for a little
Some
while.
people say that endurance training is the way to go.
For what? That doesn't even mean anything.
I would say the same about food.
What? I don't even know what you're saying.
And you know what?
What do you mean endurance training is the way to go?
Okay, here's a good one. Bikram yoga. Is it Bikrams or Bikram?
I don't think there's a plural on it.
No, it's the possessive. Bikrams, because Bikram owns this yoga.
He owns everything. Apparently, he's a terrible person.
Yeah, I've heard.
Bikram person.
These weird stories.
I don't even think his name's Bikram, but whatever it is.
Okay, old Bikram.
He's a terrible person.
He says that his yoga is the end-all, be-all. We're talking a force about, like, in the exercise world or the fitness world.
Underlying. Oh, first of all, I mean, what he's doing is not based on any science.
Jake, it's based on 10,000 years of Indian tradition.
Now, what I'm
talking about... Are you going to discount a whole civilization?
I feel like more people can agree on things in the exercise world than the nutrition world.
I feel like, I mean, like on that very small slice of your point, I agree. I just feel like it's all super contentious.
It is.
Undoubtable.
But
I got a question for you.
What is that?
I feel like you know more about this than me, and I hope you do, because I'm going to bring it up.
I know a few things. That's it.
Is that a few things, like when people are like, oh, I know a few things? Or is that like, I don't know that much, I only know a few things?
I don't even know what the difference is between those two statements.
The difference is the guy that's like, I know a few things. He feels like he knows a lot.
No, I literally only know a few things.
Very English pronunciation. What is the deal with... You probably get on your device.
What if I don't know? What if I don't know this?
What's the deal with... I'll talk about it a little bit.
What is it, Seinfeld?
What's the deal with... What is the fight about the CrossFit certification against the... Is it the ACSM or the NSCS and the government regulation that people want to come in, so on and so forth? What is this about?
I'm not going to pretend like I know. This is one of those few things that I know, but I'll talk about it.
Can you set the scene? Because I don't even understand the backstory that well.
I don't know the organization that is involved.
But it's big in the strength and conditioning community.
Yes, basically.
It's the governing body of sorts.
There's a movement saying that in order to practice some sort of fitness instructing, that you have to have some sort of accreditation to do it at all. Not just to like get insurance or, I don't know, be able to call yourself a trainer or whatever. It's just like to do it at all. You have to, there should be some sort of board overseeing all things, and you have to be, be accredited, certified, something to that effect.
And if you don't have this by their standards, it would be illegal for you to instruct anyone in training.
That's the idea. I think there's a movement in DC right now that is trying to, there's something actually going on there in DC. I don't think it's like has like passed or anything like that, but there's more discussion up there. I haven't heard anything in Virginia. I think there's.
So you're talking about federal government or the actual?
No. I think like DC is the.
Oh, got you.
I don't know.
The District of Columbia.
The District of Columbia.
Not at the federal level.
Not the White House.
Okay. Obama's not on his Obama phone talking about this.
Hey, you know what? The biggest problem we got right now, trainers.
I know you guys are worried about a lot of stuff.
Doing things inappropriately.
But there's these guys out there, and they're doing it all wrong when it comes to exercise.
Yeah. A lot of issues there.
Well, I mean, like, the gist I've gotten is it's anti-CrossFit, and that's where it comes from.
If you go to the Burgers blog, I'm sure they're certainly painting it like that.
Yeah.
But is it the Burger? No, it's the Greens. I don't know.
No, it's the Russells.
The Russells.
Holy hell.
I use everything that I did, every wrong word.
Guys, there's one burger, there's one green, and they're both named Russell. Google it.
I'm blaming it entirely on the large bottle of empty Hardywood.
They are lawyers for CrossFit.
Yeah.
In case you don't know, they are the
Russells.
The defenders of the realm.
Russell Burger and Russ Green.
They're defenders of the realm, and they are rabid. They attack anyone that has any kind of bad things to say about CrossFit. But yeah, from them, I've gotten this gist that they believe that the movement has sprung from anti-CrossFit people within that broader strength and conditioning, whatever overview board. I don't know if it's NSCS or I don't know the certifying body.
Well,
which makes me sound dumb, but whatever.
I mean, the NSCA is a large group here within the United States who does the.
I think that's who it is.
The gold. No, I think it's different.
Okay.
Does the gold standard certification, which is the CSCS. That's like the big one that people get.
Okay.
I think maybe Jerry has it, and maybe Jamie did at one point. I did not. CrossFit certainly had issues with the NSCA over the years, and it really, again, it gets down to the practical application. A lot of these principles, when they're posting a picture on like how to teach a squat, and it's like the worst squat in the world, and it's like the worst way to teach it.
Who's posting this picture?
I mean, like the NSCA, like in their big book and stuff like that.
And what's it like? Knees caving in, collapse.
Fucking like 6 inches above parallel.
I think
everything's wrong.
Picture,
like,
isn't it silly that even still now at this point, squatting? See, this is what I'm talking about. The contention, like squatting above parallel, is still a thing.
We're talking about like, so in my earlier thing with the fitness world, I mean, like I'm thinking like down a level, like you get down to some specific principles, the biology.
Okay.
I feel like in the nutrition world, I could be totally wrong, but even like at the biological level, at the simplest things, there's like large disagreements.
Everyone agrees on the macronutrients.
Do they? No, I mean like I feel like they don't.
I feel like they agree. Okay, so to bring
a lot of people have been saying for years that a calorie is more than a calorie, or that there's like it's not just the bathtub model, the in and out, and that's what the macros is saying. If you eat less over time, you're going to weigh less. I don't know if that's true.
Do you think macros is just Weight Watchers for bros?
Yes, we've rebranded Weight Watchers.
I feel like that's exactly
feeding it to CrossFitters.
We've done.
Well, we have done it, so who knows?
I mean, it works, so who cares?
Works for some people.
Yeah, it doesn't work for some people.
Doesn't work for some people. I'm eating more, and I'm weighing less. I feel like it works too good.
It's working really good. You're a special case. Special case, bro.
Everybody's a special case.
Okay, so all I'm saying is it's funny that there's still disagreement over the squat and the idea that you're really going to bring in, I mean, the government, the same people who brought us the food pyramid, they're going to come in and do what? Like, if you don't do this, you don't even have your CSCS. So if you don't do this, the gym shuts down. You pay a fine. God, if you went to jail for this, that would be incredible. Jake, you're not built for jail, but
I'm like
you're not built for jail.
It'd be like when Martin Luther King
No. I'm the one who crosses the line, and I'm gonna say we're not crossing that line. No, let's go. Well, it's like when Martin Luther King went to jail.
It's like
he spent the night in jail.
Yeah.
And you're fighting the good fight
for fitness rights.
Jake, I think you need
the right to train people.
Serve a night in jail over this certification.
Gandhi in jail. How about that? That's less.
No, let's say Martin Luther King. Let's do it.
We
go all the way or we don't go.
Let's go to another country, so there's not as many issues.
It's like Saddam Hussein.
Nothing like Saddam Hussein.
Jake, you're like the Saddam Hussein of fitness.
Yeah, why? Because he...
Tyrannical, overlording, the secret police.
Yeah. Who spent some time on a gallows at the end of his days.
You're not worried about this, I know. But how do you feel about it?
I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, first I wonder, what is the purpose? Like, what are we protecting people from?
I swear to God, they're trying to protect people from CrossFit because they're threatened by it.
Well, it's the they, I think, is honestly probably fairly limited. I mean, it's like an organization with some power doing some things. If you read the Russells blog, I mean, they're like citing a specific person, basically saying that they offered to, they asked CrossFit to pay them money to sort of represent them. I think initially abroad. I think this all started in like Australia or something like that.
Okay.
And then CrossFit was like no, and so now it's
they
like
sort of try to extort CrossFit.
That's what they make it sound like.
They basically said, CrossFit, if you pay us money, we won't proceed with this legislation against your program.
I feel like that's a stretch, but let's say that.
This makes for more interesting podcasting.
Yeah, well, this is not the disinformation podcast.
We're also more entertainment than truth. So, okay, that's definitely how the burgers portray it.
The Russells.
Whatever.
Well, I messed it all up.
So,
hey, I've worked through that large thing. I need one of these.
So, okay.
When I go to patient first,
yeah, guys,
they're gonna tell me
listen to me right now. Jake has a swollen ankle. I'm looking at it. It's about, 6 inches of redness on his foot and his ankle. This man is so weak that one tiny nick. Well, how did you even get cut?
I just clipped my ankle on basically part of a plate tray, like a little horizontal plate rack.
Okay, so he got nicked on his foot from a plate rack. This thing is infected. He is infected to the gills right now.
First of all, the gym's probably let's be real here. On a microscopic level, the gym is not the cleanest place on earth.
Well, it's funny because I showed him this scar I got on my foot, and it's because I got a cut on my foot, and then I was in the jungle, and my foot got completely infected to the level that his foot is now infected. And the gym is comparable to a jungle in South America.
It is a jungle of microbes.
A jumble of jungle, yeah. And he has MRSA now.
Not MRSA, but
Jake,
we'll find out.
He got blood poisoning.
I'm gonna go to the.
We walked down the street. He couldn't even walk the whole way. He was out of breath. He also might be out of shape. We don't know.
You had to carry me on your back. I think it has something to do, not with my genes, but maybe the fact that I'm sleeping for 3 hours a night or whatever.
I feel.
You can't have a good immune system when you're doing that.
No, and you should be probably doing things you're not doing to take care of yourself.
Like what?
Oh, wow. I feel like this is a challenge.
I'm eating good.
You drink a gallon of chocolate milk a day.
I do not.
This is stopped?
Following your macros. I can't drink chocolate milk on this nutrition challenge.
Okay. Jake, do you supplement in any way, shape, or form?
I barely believe in supplements.
What are you talking about? Okay, supplement. Vitamin D. Colloidal suspension. You do that?
Colloidal suspension.
Yes. Science.
What does that even mean?
It means it's liquid.
Why did we have to say that it's colloidal suspension?
So I wanted people to know I'm not taking some hard, chalky vitamin D pills that you should be taking.
Unacceptable.
Because it doesn't really get in you.
Well, no, I'm not taking any vitamin D.
B12. You doing that?
I'm taking nothing. There's not a pill or a liquid, nothing that comes from, nothing other than food, protein powder.
Well, maybe
sunlight. That's how I'm getting my vitamin D.
Maybe you should think about it. What about some probiotics?
I just said I'm not taking any of these.
I drink homemade kombucha.
Well,
Look at my feet. They're not infected right now.
Your life is the Oregon Trail.
I don't even know what that means.
It means you're self-sustaining in your little weird hippie colony.
Weird?
It's
Weird
not,
or just really cool?
Not normal.
Not normal.
You got chickens in the back. You got 3 goats.
Homemade kombucha.
You're
6 dogs.
You're just there making shirts out of your goat fur, goat hair.
Actually, we made a...
shaving the goats.
We crocheted a sweater out of Chewy's hair, and it's delightful to wear.
It's soft and just...
And Chewy's spirit is inside of it, and I feel like a wolf when I wear it.
Good.
No, but he's infected. He is hurt. He is not seeking medical care. We're very concerned for him.
I think it looks pretty good right now.
Jake, it looks horrible. Wait, it looks horrible.
It is what it is. Things happen to people.
But it is not. I mean, things happen to people.
I'll go to the doctor. I'll get some antibiotics.
And they solve their problems. You need a Z-Pack. You need to get this taken care of. That's it.
What if this is it for my foot?
Well, there's no more... your dream will come true because the DNA test will come back and say you're not an athlete, but you'll be footless, so you'll have 2 excuses to not continue on.
Good.
Or you'll go into Chef's Adaptive League.
Which he is looking, actually, he's doing a Kickstarter right now.
Special announcement?
I think it's pretty cool. So what they do at CrossFit Rubicon is they train adaptive athletes for $1 a month.
Tell people what adaptive athletes are.
I mean, it's going to include amputees, but if you have other things going on, paralysis, maybe degenerative neuron muscle diseases.
One of the most, I don't want to say famous, but one of the most known ones is Steph the Hammer. Do you know who that is?
Yeah. I don't know.
She has cerebral palsy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Chef Wallach.
She's incredible.
It is very incredible.
She's worked with him. She has cerebral palsy, and I feel like she runs a mile faster than I do.
It's very impressive. So Chef up at CrossFit Rubicon trains athletes for, again, $1 a month. And I think he said about 25% of his athletes are now adaptive athletes. So that means 25% of his gym's population is paying $1 a month, which is not easy to do and is quite giving of him. So he's running a GoFundMe, trying to collect some additional dollars to help more or less sponsor and support these athletes via his gym. So it's a pretty cool setup.
So if you give, say, $10 a month, all right, say you give $10 to the Kickstarter, you will allow 10 adaptive athletes to train at his gym for 1 month.
That's one way of looking at it.
So how hard is it for you to give $10? What is that? Not getting coffee every day for 1 week?
Yeah. We've had a member of ours train with Chef.
Oh, what is her name?
Lindsay.
She's awesome. I saw her Instagram.
Quad amputee with the 2-hand transplant.
Now, who was I saw her doing a clean off the box.
Was this on Instagram?
Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
How that's insanity to me.
Yeah.
So it's funny we talked about excuses. When you see those things, like, what's your excuse?
It's true.
Those aren't even her hands.
No.
If I had a hand transplant, I'd want, like, a black guy's hands.
That's weird to say.
Wouldn't that be hilarious, though?
I think you'd take them if you could get them.
I would take whatever I could get, but I would ask specifically for a black guy's hands.
No, I don't even know where to go with that.
Or, even better, a child's hands. So I could hold a burger, like the Burger King commercial.
This is bizarre. I feel like I gotta cut this out, too.
Please don't cut this out.
I feel like this is highly offensive.
Do you know how to get to his Kickstarter? in any way.
I'm sure people can Google it. Maybe we can put it in the show notes if it's still going on.
I'll do that if it's still going on. Probably go to CrossFit Rubicon, RUBICON.
Correct.
And see if there's something there. That's it.
You should be able to find it there.
Well, I feel like we killed this topic.
I don't know what. There wasn't a topic.
Jake,
we had nothing to talk about.
You know what this is? This is a show of entertainment. People are entertained. We throw some things out. Is there any other weird things you're thinking about this week?
Let's say the next week we plan on having a guest and maybe, some real things that we talk about.
Guys, don't let him trick you in thinking that this is not real. This is just two guys in a room alone with a tripod and a mattress. How did that
What's the mattress for?
How did that get in here?
What's the stark lighting going on here?
How did this mattress get in here? And
just blood stains.
See, you just took that.
What did you expect to happen?
I feel like that took a turn towards a different type of thing that I was going towards.
The macabre?
Something weird right there. Do you want to ever have an internet online program? I'm going to put you in a box right now.
Probably not.
I went on a rant before the podcast about internet online programs.
Maybe.
I'm going to be candid. I was sort of enamored with this idea for a while. And as time and experience has accumulated, I'm very anti this idea.
It does seem weird.
Isn't it weird? Like, how comfortable... See, I don't know. I'm not a coach, so I couldn't be like, oh, of course it wouldn't be comfortable. But how comfortable would it be to... Would you make someone you were coaching online come visit you every so often?
What? No, I don't want to see these people. No, I'm just kidding. Let me back up.
He's not kidding.
Let me back up. No, I really enjoy working with people, especially one-on-one. Man, that's all I do at the gym.
I'm sorry, go ahead. What'd you say?
You know what? I do basically online programming for my brother.
Yeah, but you see your brother like every 1 week in a month.
Not even. Yeah. Dude, he's trained with me like twice in the last year.
Okay. But, all right.
It is much less effective than at the same time, say, doing Jackie's programming right now.
So Jackie has qualified for national. She's been on the podcast, so you should know her if you listen. It's much less effective to train your brother than it is to train Jackie. Because you see Jackie every day.
I see Jackie routinely. I make routine adjustments to the programming. So, I mean, it's, with my brother, there's just more guesswork. I mean, there's just things like, that go beyond just like the written out, feedback. And it's just like, if I'm just seeing things, I see rep after rep and know if she had a good day or a bad day or what needs to be worked on. So
what about the way someone even just walks into the gym where you're like, oh, they're very tired, they're angry, they're whatever. You know what I mean? Like those little things that you can look at and be like, the volume's crazy today. Obviously some shit's going on in their lives right now. We're going to take this inessential item out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like a huge part of training is the sort of emotional and psychological aspect of it all.
I feel like that's 90% at some point, especially when you get advanced.
And, yeah, I mean, just knowing, I don't know, what people are capable of on a certain day and being able to feel it out and, I mean, sort of setting expectations and adjusting those expectations. I mean, even just doing things on the fly. I mean, Nick sends me, videos on Coach's Eye, but he might not do a full snatch again for a few days. So he has to think about, instead of it being like an immediate feedback thing, and maybe I might try like several different things to try to like elicit some positive response when the lifter's going. Once if I get a video and then I send it back, it's like, well, it's not like you can try things. It's just more like, all right, well, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I want you to think about next time. I think it works, but I don't think it works nearly as well as being in person with somebody.
I feel like the people that are doing it are trying to cast a very wide net to make a lot of money. Because there's people out there that are hungry. But There's people that are there that are hungry for programs, but at the same time, I feel like the garage gymmer doesn't even really exist anymore. So who are these people? And why aren't they doing their affiliate or gyms program or a local coaches program?
I wonder where they are. I mean, I think a lot of CrossFit gyms do have more loose policies than us regarding doing their own training. There are much more gyms that aren't CrossFit gyms these days that still have all the equipment. And that's like that's a growing thing. There's a lot of gyms now that, again, have good bars and plates and platforms and all that. So, but you just pay your $50 a month or whatever to train there. And they need programming. Places like the weight room.
Yeah, but Chris actually coaches and
he doesn't do. Most of the people there are on their own programs.
Yeah,
he doesn't even do. I don't think he does much programming right now.
I'm just anti a certain
So many things.
Establish it. We should do things I hate this week at the end of this podcast.
What don't you hate this week? It's a shorter list.
Now that appears to be true, but it's not.
Are you offended by that?
But it's not. No. Things I don't hate this week.
No, let's not get off topic here.
I feel like this is on topic because this is something I hate this week. I hate large scale fitness operations that have programs that look general and inclusive, but are really just strange facsimiles for coaching, almost excuses for coaching. That's what I hate this week. And I hate when they use their media wings to sell their product under the guise of being altruistic. Because I grew up, back in my day, the internet, the fitness internet, was for releasing actual valuable information that was free with no expectation that you would pay any money. i.e. CrossFit.com, that gave me a free workout and videos all the time. And
CrossFit.com led to a empire.
Right, but you didn't have to go to the level 1 to get more information.
I mean, but there's everyone's dripping information. Everyone's got the slow drip. Everyone's got their videos and their
But don't
podcasts,
tell me
like we have.
But ours is actually free.
We just have nothing to sell.
Right. Hey, we're never going to sell you anything.
Because we're not smart enough to sell you something. That's the real problem. We don't have the motivation or the intelligence to actually formulate a product and gain an audience. But here we are.
Jake, we have an audience. We have 433 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, man. That's wow, I can't wait for that first YouTube check.
Do you know what I found out?
Tell me.
1 million views on a video equates to $2,500.
That ain't bad.
Are you kidding me? You think that's good?
Do you know how many videos are out there that multi-million views?
Yeah, like cat videos or like a security guard dancing to Young Jock. And then someone's going, how I feel after the Taylor Swift concert. Jake.
Dude, what we're doing is the bottom end. I mean, what we got right now is like the bottom end of the bell curve here. Like, we're so far away from what real, like what, like there's people who, dude, if you have 100,000 subscribers, how hard is it going to be to get 1 million views?
Everyone that subscribes to you would have to watch your video 10 times.
That's the math, folks.
Jake, but what I'm saying is, Jake, hand me a drink.
No, you don't know. I don't know what you're pointing at.
I want your phone. What I'm
Maybe
saying.
You needed some information. Maybe you wanted me to look something up.
What I'm saying to you is, you're not surprised and appalled by the fact that many views garners so little cash.
I think those views are worthless. I mean, I feel like there's so little. It takes so little to get those views when it gets down to it. That represents nothing. Think how many people there are in this world.
Okay, let me be devil's advocate. If it takes nothing to get 1 million views, right?
I'm saying once you, we can't just get 1 million views. It's true.
We'll never get 1 million.
Our most, let's not go there. Our most popular video has about 15,000,
which I'm very proud of.
Yeah. Which we have no idea why it got that many.
I have no idea why that video is that popular.
It is the second most popular toast-to-bar video
on the fucking internet.
On the internet, above Carl Paoli's video.
Which is Mind-blowing.
Clearly knows more than us.
Is it... Okay, so if you go on that video on our YouTube channel, you'll see a lot of people calling out the method of teaching.
On ours?
Yeah, particularly the flick.
Because we're idiots.
We're going to turn this off in a minute.
We're doing great, man.
The flick method is not popular with a lot of people because who? Chris Spieler teaches the opposite?
Yeah, but we're more in the Paoli camp.
Yeah, and I feel like Carl Paoli, I like Chris Spieler, but I feel like when it comes to understanding how like your body moves, Carl Paoli is probably the guy you want to listen to all the time.
I feel like one is an athlete, in which athletes frequently are a demonstration of how much you can get away with and not how you should do things.
Yes.
And one is an instructor, a student of movement.
And that man is pretty close to a movement genius as you can get to.
He certainly thinks about how to move. And he has an interesting accent. I feel like it's Spanish.
He has a... First of all, we've gotten into this argument. Carl Paoli does not have an accent.
He has a strong and thick accent.
Like Antonio Banderas, strong and thick accent?
It is...
Because I can understand everything Carl Paoli says... Whereas Antonio Banderas, it gets a little iffy at some points.
First of all, where's Antonio Banderas from?
He's from Spain. You just said Carl Paoli has a Spanish accent. I think Carl Paoli is Swedish, by the way.
I read his book, man.
You read his book? Because I asked you if you read his book, and you go, no, I didn't read his book.
Well, I eventually did.
Got through it?
Things change. People change.
People change. Well, Carl Paoli, for those of you that might not know, breaks down movement to these component parts that are almost, when you look at them, I don't know, some of the stuff it makes complete sense once he breaks it down, but I'm like, how did you even get to this point? I tried teaching my mom to squat.
All right, hold on 1 second.
All right, let's hear it.
Oh, fuck, I'm going to call. John Houston. I'll call you back later, John. All right. He was born in the U.S. to Swedish parents, and he grew up in Spain. So we're both right.
Of course we are.
That's it. Now we know, and he's got a strong accent.
Carl Paoli has no accent, everybody. In fact, go watch his videos, and then comment, because nobody comments. On the YouTube or the iTunes. No, you can't comment on iTunes. On the YouTube or the Instagram. And tell us what you think about his accent. Jakey doesn't have an accent.
His silky smooth accent. He's
an incredibly...
Spanish-Swedish accent.
He's an incredibly well put together guy. Sexual. And
you know what?
In many ways.
He is who he is. Anyways, but our video is clearly
above his, and he's a genius.
The internet has spoken, and we are the superior toast to bar instructors.
Why do you think that video is actually that popular?
I have no idea. That's why
You don't have any idea?
No.
You have no ideas.
I think we caught it at the right time with the CrossFit Open, because I think so much of it, I don't know how YouTube, I mean, the ranking algorithm is not like some straightforward thing, you know?
Do you know what it's based on?
I'm sure it's based on many things, but tell me.
It used to be based primarily on number of views, and now it's based on length of view. So people watch our Toast to Bar video longer than they watch anyone else's.
Which isn't bad.
I've looked at our analytics, they don't watch it for that long.
Weird. So it still doesn't mean anything.
I mean,
people had to watch it to begin with. How did that many people get to watch it?
Do you ever get discouraged with, I mean, seriously, do you ever get discouraged if you looked at the analytics on the Toast to Bar video? I mean, it's pretty good. It's over 50%. But when you think about, like, if you read 50% of every book you've ever read, you've learned nothing.
I skip around in every video that I ever watch.
See, I'm a weirdo, and I watch, if I'm going to watch a video, unless it's just horrible, which you know quick, I turn it off immediately. Sometimes I wonder if that analytic is, it has to be the combination of the people that started it and like within seconds turned it off, and then the people that watched it all the way to the end.
I don't know what you just said. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. You know, so we'll never have an internet program. That's one conclusion.
Yes.
We're not smart enough to do it.
We're not smart enough when we have a toast bar video. That's our claim to fame on the internet, Matt.
I want to tell you, our wall ball video is also the number one wall ball video on the internet.
Is it really?
Yes, look it up.
I'm looking it up.
Our wall ball video, wall balls for non-CrossFitters is literally throwing a medicine ball in the air to a 10-foot target and catching it. There's a lot of people that don't know how to do it, and we have helped them.
I feel like we have so much more to offer the world.
Well, apparently, we've learned it today. We're not smart enough to get it out of us and give it to them.
Hold on.
I'm proud of this. I'm proud of the wall ball video. Did you Google?
Hold on. I Googled it, and we're not up at the top.
You might have to YouTube it, which I don't know why, because YouTube owns Google. Sorry, Google owns YouTube.
You would think that the search would be the same.
So,
God.
Did you find it?
Hold on. Oh God, I've gone somewhere terrible.
The legitimacy of these videos is what you're questioning right now.
Well, it's there's not going to be a direct correlation to the quality of your video, from the quality of your video and your content to the number of views, that's just life. But it's disappointing.
Well, I mean, what do you think the reason is for that?
Oh man, I don't know.
Why do you think bad videos are popular and good videos are not popular?
Listen, there's dudes out there who are like, I saw this one tweet. I saw another toes to bar video, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't like a toes to bar instructional video, so but had like 100,000 views on it, maybe even more, maybe hundreds of thousands, and it was just some jacked bodybuilder dude who has a very popular channel just talking about how he thinks that kipping toes to bar sucks, and that was it. That was a whole video, and it had a multiple of ours.
Well, that's the funny thing. We talked about this, and I don't think we've talked about it on the show, but someone like Max Tuning, who
I don't think he's in Richmond anymore, but yes.
No, I watch this YouTube video every day.
But isn't he in a different?
Yeah,
he's not at the weight room.
He's not at the weight room. He's in DC.
Okay, so he's not in Richmond.
He's not in Richmond.
Okay.
He is not some sort of high-level bodybuilder, nor is he some sort of high-level powerlifter, even though he's strong.
He's very strong.
He's super strong. And he's also stupid strong.
Okay, so we're like 10 down.
What is this, wall balls?
Yeah, like maybe 20 down. All right, so we're the worst.
No, we're not 20 down. We're like 10 down.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
No, but Max Tuning
11, 12, 13, 14,
literally videotapes his day.
18, 19, 20, 21 down. Is it wall balls? Is there another thing I should search
Maybe
for?
it's thrusters, double unders. I don't know.
I think wall balls is pretty
But
good.
don't you remember our surprise that Max Tuning had... I don't want to say it's a lot, but he had a lot more followers than, like, Barbell Shrugged.
Right.
Max Tuning doesn't give out advice. He videotapes himself eating a Chipotle.
I hear you. And Barbell Shrugged,
Gives...
for all of any faults that they may have, is a CrossFit video distribution empire.
Right. I would say strength and conditioning, but yeah. Same difference.
They're born of the CrossFit world.
Well, like we said in the last podcast, they got into CrossFit because they thought it was going to be the next best thing.
It is what it is.
So, you know how that goes. No, but it's funny that Max Tuning can't... He doesn't put out any advice. So who are these people that are subscribing to his channel?
People worship the ground that man walks on. It is what it is.
All right, I got an idea.
All right, let's hear it.
CrossFit RVA, MovementRVA, Max Tuning, mashup video.
Why would he do something with us? We're peons. We have nothing.
You know, every idea I have, you squash with your negativity.
I squash everyone's ideas because mine are the best.
I've learned this. Jake lives in a world of delirium and tedium.
You do the same thing, so.
Jake, I live in this office, and that's what I do.
Squash ideas?
No, I just...
Crushed dreams?
I don't tell anyone anything anymore because I don't care.
You should be a hermit.
Pretty close. Look around you.
I don't want to see you anymore. I just want you to stay here.
No problem. All right. Well, we need to wrap this up.
Yeah. About an hour.
This is the MovementRVA Podcast. I'm Matt Cricchio.
And I'm Jake Rowell.
We drank a lot of cider today, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
Until next week, it's just exercise.